it ever like there was like a light bulb moment when it went off over my head, like, oh my God, he's the one. But I did notice that he was different from, other guys and other relationships that I had been in. He had this thing where like he would never say a derogatory word about women. That was something that stood out to me, and that showed me more than he was already showing me, that he put women on this pedestal and held them in high regards and had a lot of respect for women.
So I use this example about chicks that's from like my old neighborhood. They had a certain level of aggression, and a certain type of hood nigga is what they like, and not just any hood nigga. You had to be a confirmed 2-3 body type of dude for them to actually fully respect you. And when you're dealing with a woman that operates like that, there's a certain level of masculinity at all times you're gonna have to maintain. And if it falls below that, she's gonna be disrespectful as fuck to you. And if Remy Ma is popping off fighting chicks and shooting at people, she strikes me as somebody that could be from the area that I'm talking about. And if she feels like her man now has become, in her, not in these type of women mind, not saying that he pussy from doing all of that shit, but if she feel like he pussy, she will lose respect for him and then seek a nigga that she feel is as dominant as the type of man that she actually wants. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying I've witnessed it and I could see it from a distance. Like, she's tougher than you in her mind. That's not gonna work. No matter how nice you are to her, that will actually probably make it worse, honestly.
I think the
So
problem
you,
is
you
that
I mean, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna blame Papoose, right? How many women would or have held a man down for being in jail, especially when that good women, because we are assuming Papoose is a good man. Because here is Remy Ma. She goes to jail for, I think, 8 years or something like that for shooting and fighting women. And these Papoose guys, in her own words, he was going to see her every single day until she told him to stop. Right? For 8 years, he's holding her down. He's waiting for her. And then I think they also got married when she was still in jail. And then she comes out and she cheats on him. I'm going to have to blame him because the signs were there before she went to jail. She's fighting, she's shooting at people. Is that the kind of wife you want? Is that the kind, like, if you took a woman like Remy Ma to your mom and be like, hey mom, this is gonna be my future wife, but just so you know, she just did 8 years in jail for shooting and fighting other women. That's crazy. So I agree with this, what the gentleman has just said. Anytime a woman senses weakness, she's gonna get disrespectful. It doesn't mean it's right. It doesn't mean that's what she should do, but humans like to take advantage of other weak humans or weak situations, or situations where they can have a leg above their rest. So if they sense weakness, and some people take kindness for weakness, they're going to do that.
Basically, you just targeted what we were saying. You said she was a red flag. How she was brought
yeah,
up,
yeah, she
her
definitely
mentality was a red flag. And all we're saying is a woman with red flags is going to do these things. We're saying there's women that don't have that retaliation type. If you don't show the masculinity I think you should have, I'm gonna cheat on you. There's women out there that gonna take you for who you are. This is who you are. And if you don't have the masculinity I expect you to have, then I'm gonna leave. I'm not gonna disrespect you. There's women out here with class that are literally walk. So it's not on him, it's just on her ability to be like, okay, look, this ain't working for me. This is not the guy I'd expect to be. He don't have the masculinity. I'm tougher than him. I'm gonna go ahead and try my options elsewhere and spare this man any, of the things that I could retaliate or whatever.
So
Yeah, there are women out there who are like, okay, you don't give me what I need. I'm not going to disrespect you. I'm not going to cheat on you. I'm going to leave you. All right. But there's a few in between, right? But the thing is, like you said, she gave him the red flags. Like any man who's willing to marry a woman who can shoot and fight other women, that's on you, bro. So yeah, it's not right that she came out of jail after he waited for her and then she cheated on him, but he also has saw the red flag. Because most people don't have direct red flags like that. It's very rare It's not rare, but it's hard for sometimes to see a person's red flags from the beginning. But Papoose saw the red flags. She went to jail, and he waited.
I
Hold on,
agree.
y'all. Hold on, y'all. We got to get the other people
Yeah.
involved too. Go ahead, Kelly, Ruth, Coco, Chalice. Check in with them.
So I just wanted to go back to what Law said about Remy Ma wanting to go on the show, and Papoose told her that he didn't want her to, but they both ended up on the show, correct? You said that was disrespectful, right?
Yeah, he said that. Yeah, he said that.
Okay, so keep in mind that these are performers. They're entertainers. They get paid to entertain. These shows come with checks. So if you're an entertainer, an actor, rapper, whatever, it's about the money. So if they're
Yeah, but if you're married, there should be boundaries, especially if you know this kind of money is going to bring drama in our life under our relationship, and it could help us, it could lead us to breaking up. So just because you're a performer entertainer doesn't mean you can take any gig just because there's a check attached to it, especially if you sit down and analyze the situation and realize this may affect our marriage.
married couple, this is income to them. So is it really disrespectful if they both went on there? That's
Yes.
a decision that they made together.
Yes.
You
it's
have
still-
to sign contracts for the show.
No, that's the decision.
Nobody
she made.
made him do that. No,
She made him do the decision, make the decision or make the choice. Because remember, if he was weak enough to wait for her in jail, so she already knows that this is the kind of man I would tell him to do anything and he will do it. It's like, okay, you waited for me 8 years when I was in jail. You couldn't have other women in 8 years. You waited for me. You are weak enough. I'll work on you. I'll tell you whatever I want and you will do it. So she did tell him. He didn't make the decision.
nobody made him do that. If it was so disrespectful,
She
he
did.
wouldn't have done it. If he found the whole
I didn't say-
idea disrespectful, he wouldn't have went on there himself.
Why is she assuming that men never do things women tell them to do, just because, even if they don't like it? They do all the time. I'm sure in her life she has told men to do things they don't want to do, but they still do them. Why is she acting like as if that every time a man doesn't like something, he walks away? That's something women do whenever they feel they don't like something, even if they just feel it. It's not real, they just feel it. They always walk away. Men usually don't just break up just because they don't like something. They usually like to see it through or talk through things, work it out.
So that's what we saying that.
Well, that's what he said. He wasn't going to go on, but he
And
he did. He vowed to what she
Nobody
said. My thing is
forced him
this.
to.
Hold on, listen, right? She
Yes.
did. What do you mean? Here's where Papoose
did what?
failed to begin with. Listen. This is where Papoose failed to begin with. You listening? When
Okay.
you got a woman doing 8 years and you sit there going to see her every time and you waiting 8 years and I'ma hold my celibacy and all that,
He's
Yep.
she already
protecting
knew
his
she had you as a
investment.
simp.
That's his
What investment? They wasn't married. He married her in the joint. Come on, man. You ain't even, look.
Okay, but
Here's
they're
my
married,
thing.
right?
He married her there, right? They wasn't married
Okay.
beforehand.
Okay,
Look,
and he's managing
What I'm
her.
saying is, okay. So wait. So wait, it's flipped this way. But if it was a woman waiting on that man, y'all gonna call her all kind of stupid. Y'all,
Yeah, they would, because like, why? First of all, they would say you shouldn't be with a man who's fighting women or other men. A man who's a fighter who can shoot and he's a criminal. They wouldn't advise another woman to wait for a criminal. That's number one. Number two, and if she did, they would call her names, right? Because no one should get married to a criminal, especially if you know. Now, if they are hiding it, it's one thing, but they will be like, girl, you got options out here in the world. Find you a good, law-abiding citizen man. That's what they would tell the woman. But now, because Remy Ma is benefiting from the situation, they don't care.
y'all gonna call her all kind of
I'm not
girl.
gonna
You
call
waiting
no
on this
woman
jailbird?
for the decisions that she's making.
Come on, man.
for
So
love.
you mean
They're both
so
decide. It's both.
you say what?
I said it's both decisions on either side, whether it's a man or a woman. That's your choice to hold them down. And like I stated in the beginning, all Remy Ma did is what anybody else does when they do a long bid. They get out of jail. She starts smelling herself because she finally got back out. She got popping again. They went on the show. She became relevant again. And she wasn't feeling him no more and decided to test other waters. like the other gentleman said, that says more about her character and the woman that she was rather than what Papoose did. I think all he
He
really
should have saw it coming.
just like a woman who holds a man down when he goes to jail and he does her wrong. It's not her fault. That was his decision.
Nah, there's fault. There's fault in both of them, especially if you knew prior you're waiting on a criminal. Now, if you guys were married, and even then, if you do something that is going to jeopardize the relationship, especially in marriage, and you guys have kids involved, that's an issue. Like if one of you commits a crime, especially with involved in shooting other people, fighting, because every decision you make when you're in a relationship or marriage is going to affect the other person in some way, shape, or form. And if it's a crime, meaning one, now you have a record, you can't find a job to provide for the family, it's going to affect your kids, and then you're going to jail, which means it's going to affect, maybe when you guys are trying to buy a house or something, people are going to be looking at your records like that. Also, you are taking time away from your partner. So every decision you make is going to affect your relationship. So both of them are at fault. Papoose saw the red flags. He didn't care. Remy Ma was a red flag. She came out and she still disrespected a man that waited for her for 8 years.
Go ahead, Ruth. You want to add anything, or Coco?
I agree with what she said. It's his decision.
About
Wait,
you?
she was only in jail for a year before they got married. Less than a year.
Knowing she had 9.
But that wedding was she didn't even want a wedding. Like, that was all Papoose. Like, Papoose wanted that wedding, all that stuff. Like, if you watch it, that's what he wanted. And she complained about it, but she still did it.
So who looking like the simp? Who looking like the goofy that should have saw the signs? Come on, man. Stop.
Like, he was like, he was getting a return on his investment. I
think you're mixing up two different things. You're mixing up simping and low self-esteem or being aware.
No, those going.
They're all the same. Low self-esteem, simping, everything. Anytime you do something for someone who doesn't appreciate it, who's not worthy, and you keep doing because you want them to validate how you feel, you want them to like you, it's all the same thing. So Papoose was the kind of guy who did that. How are you gonna marry someone who just went to jail a year in when they still have 7 or 8 more years? That's crazy. A criminal at that. Now, if you knew she didn't do it or this and that, but she did it, and then she comes out and cheats on you, that's on you. Anyway, full link down below to the video. Shout out to Lapif Network. Till next time, peace.